What's up, mi gente? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a video on a bug out bag per se, and I have videos on this, not many, but on some, on some type of setup. But I wanted to make a video. One, I wanted to showcase you guys this bag, this Viktos Duffle. I think it's a Duffle 44 bag. I'll make sure I look at the site, but I wanted to show you this, new bag I liked. But what I wanted to talk about with the kind of bug out bag videos and all that, I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. I don't think there's a, one bag kind of does it all. At least for me, I think that, if you're a single guy, you could have a bag like this because you're just carrying what you need, shelter, food, etc. We'll go through all the things that, I put in the bag. But what I'm saying is it's easier. Now, for the guys that have a family like me, and geez, I just have one daughter, right? My daughter, my wife, but you might have multiple, right? It's a lot more complicated. Just having one bag like this to bug out is, you have to really strategically prepare that, and I believe that's different, which is leading to this. I'm making a video about a bug out bag. This is a bag that we either have to run and leave. We're not leaving our home per se, but maybe we have to go get a family member, or maybe we just need to get out, to possibly, maybe I have to go get my wife, and I might be stuck out. Doesn't necessarily mean out in the elements, just might be out where I don't come back, and I might need to stay out in the elements or walk. I have to get out of my house for a little bit. This is a bag that we grab that has a lot of things, whether I'm staying, possibly I might stay in a hotel, whatever the case might be. But something's going on, not that we're just taking a family trip and staying in a hotel, right? So, but the reason I say that is for a bag, for me to say, like a get out bag where I'm leaving my home, that would be something, catastrophic. I'm more about hunkering in. I mean, this is why I chose the house that we live in. We live in a private community that's rural, then it backs up to woods, right? So I have a lot of acres behind me. So for me to leave would be like, I don't know, possible like invasion or something's being taken over and we need to get out for a bit. Yes, I have a bag that I'm still building with that, because this is where I was saying a lot comes into play. If you have a family now, I have to have stuff for my daughter and my wife, and they're older, right? My daughter's, 17 with us, so I kind of set them up all with one bag each. Like, my wife has a bag, daughter has a bag that kind of has things that they need, a sleeping bag, and I carry the bigger stuff like the tent, etc. But like I said, that would be in an extreme circumstance. This is more of a bug out bag. This is a bag that you grab and go because you have to get out. You want to take this bag with you, and just in case you're not making it back in your dedicated time, like you might need to stay out, well, you have the things that you need. That's what this video is about. And I'll do different videos on different types of bags. The one video I have is like a vehicle bag, which is kind of like a get home if my vehicle was to get stranded or something happened and there's massive traffic and I'm not going to be able to drive home. Well, I have that bag in order to get home to my family. I work further than my family, right? My wife works very near the house, so she would get back with my daughter, right? That's our plan. Me, I work an hour and 10 minutes away, so that's why I kind of have that bag. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this particular bag and using a bag like this, because a duffel bag, one, fits a good amount of stuff. I remember I got this bag, I think, to use as a range bag. They kind of tout it as a range bag, and I'll show you all the features once I go through it. But we're going to go through all the compartments, everything I have in it. And yeah, we're calling it a bug out bag. So this is the bag that we need to bug out, whether, like I said, I have to go out, grab a family member, we're going out, I'm taking this with me just in case these are the things I need, and just in case I can't come back, I have those things, etc. All right, so I'm going to go through the bag, we'll get into it, and then I'll go through all the things, I'll go through all the bag features once I have everything out of it so you can see. I pretty much have it packed up. There might be some things missing that I've been moving just because, starting to camp and stuff like that. And we'll talk about them. But it's still a work in progress. Like, any bag, I tell people out there, start setting it up. Get little things by little, whether, it's Father's Day, ask for a gift that you might need, whether it's like a shovel or something like that, and start building that bag. I mean, it's hard to, you could spend a lot of money just, hey, I'm going to set up a bag when you really think about the things that you need and you might not have. It gets pricey. So, build them over time, and that evolves too. You might be, oh, you know what? I saw a video, that's a smart thing to have, I'm going to add that to my bag, right? That happens all the time. Or in the comments of the video, guys, comment, hey, you should have this, I have that. You know, share that information with the community. It's great, and that's how we build, these types of bags, and we learn from everybody. So I was saying, this is the Viktos Duffle 44 bag, and I'll double check that. I'm pretty sure it was like 129 bucks when I got it. I've done bag reviews on Viktos. They make really good bags, good prices. They make good products at good prices. So, I'll look at the website. I'll tell you exactly what it is. I think it was 129 bucks for this. When I got it in gray. Oh, I'm up. It's called the Range Trainer Duffle 44 bag. It's 129 bucks. It comes in black and, tactical gray, which I have here. The overall dimensions of it is 22 high, 14 wide by 8 deep. But it has a compartment that opens up and brings it out to 27 inches in length, which we'll talk about why I like that. So, of course, just so you know, yes, if you're going to be, shoving a rifle in here, if you're in a state where you have SBRs and foldable rifles, you rock, because, Jersey sucks. You could have that. We can't here. We can have an other, which is a short rifle with the brace. It needs to meet these criteria. It's 27 inches in length, which fits in this bag, but I'll go through all of it in time, but I'm saying we'll fit in this bag, but it's just at its cusp. I would probably just break the rifle down like an AR, just break it in two and put it in here. But this is, their range bag. So it has a lot, it has MOLLE inside of it, has a lot of pockets, so it's geared to, having ammo with you, things like that. But I think it's perfect. Once I started seeing its features, I built it out to be a bug out bag because I wanted a duffel. I wasn't using it at the range bag. And it's a good bag, all around, like travel. Like when we go through it, I'll show you guys. So let's get into it. 129 bucks, Viktos Duffle 44 bag, right? The dimensions, all right? So it has a main top compartment that opens up. We're gonna go through here first, right? And when you open it up, well, it's just a zip because I had to open. It has a zipper mesh pocket here, which is pretty big. I don't have it filled to capacity, but in there, I had some snacks that fell out. These are tactical gummies, right, from Aim Size. I work with Aim Size, so I'll link this in the description. Great little tactical snacks. They're gummies, high in protein, low in calories, but has good carbs, good proteins if you need a snack. So I have a few packs of these. Remember, this is something that we're grabbing because we need to just get out of the house. We're coming back, but just in case. So although I have snacks in here and some food, it's not like this is a complete, I'm getting out of my house bag where you need to have a lot of food and whatnot. But, it's everything that you need. So if it does turn into that situation, I can, right? You will be able to. So besides the snacks that I have, that's just something great that I would just, pass out to my family here, have some snacks if we need them on the road. I have a foldable, waterproof and windproof, like a poncho pullover, and it folds into this nice little pouch here, which you could use as a pillow. This is, I forget the brand. I got it at like a Marshall's almost, so like one of those Sierra stores. I don't know what they have by you, but I've seen them on Amazon. They're about 50 bucks. It's a nice, windbreaker, folds in. It's like a no brand name, not like a brand anybody would recognize, but I like that it folds into this, and you can still fold, keep other things in here. I take this camping sometimes with me, and I, put in a hat in there, some other thing, gloves. So, it's gonna act like a little pouch, and then I use it, if I'm not using it at night, I use it as a pillow, right? So we got that in there. All right, what else we got? I like to keep a layer. So this is merino wool top layer in there. I'm just gonna throw things as I go. Merino, this is First Light. This is a little pricey, but it's really good quality stuff. I use it for hunting, First Light, that's why it's camo. But it's merino wool, so it keeps you warm, dries really quickly, so it wicks away, sweat, so you don't stay cold and wet. And that's what you want, a layer. I'm going out, so I might have to get on, even though we're bugging out with the car, I might need to get out in the elements. It might be cold. I might need to walk to get to a family member to bring them, whatever the case might be. So I have that in there. I have a beanie hat with a LED light on top. So almost like a headlamp system. This is a Snap-on one. You know, I work for Snap-on, so I get these, but I think it's cool because you could wear it and doubles up as a light if you need to get stuff, looking through your bag, looking in the car, working on the car because something happened, right? And we always want to keep our head warm. Gets colder at night, so it's a beanie with a light there, and just a bag with the, I usually put this in my camping bag too. Has really good merino wool socks in it and underwear. You know, just an extra change if something happens, you get wet, you don't want to stay wet, you have an extra set of clothes, and just in case you do need an extra set of clothes, you have it with you. So just a bunch of layers, you know, layers and some extra socks and whatnot that I keep in that compartment. It's a pretty big size mesh compartment you see here, so you could keep other stuff in there. Like I said, I keep my snacks in there, etc. And then I'm going to just start going through the packs I have in here. I have them mollied down, but you know, I'll take them all out to just show you guys what I have in there. And like I said, it's still a work in progress because I'm still adding things to it. But in here I have my bino case, okay? And you know, keeps my binos in here. These are Track HDs, 8x42s, super clear binos. I use these for hunting a lot. Now you're gonna say, why do you have binos with me, right? One, it gives you the advantage of seeing further than the eye. So again, this is a bag that I'm taking with me because something's happening and I wanna have everything with me, right? So if I'm out and possibly, like I said, I might need to help a family member, we're picking somebody up. I might be picking up my wife. I took this bag with me, so I might want to scope out the situation she's in from a distance before, right, I take that that risk of going, or if you're going to a family member. So I like keeping binos here. Doubles as well, as if you do have to stay out, you're in the elements, you're going to be out for a bit, you have binos. So if you need to go hunting for food, listen, binos come in handy. This is where you could, you know, stalk, see prey, you know, etc. So great to have binoculars on you. That's why I carry them in this. This is just a like a bino harness kit that I just, you know, don't have the straps in, just to protect the binos. And I also have in here in the back a rangefinder. Okay, again, I have the rangefinder because now I can range whether I have to range targets, or just if you know you need to see the range, how far do I have to get to that building, right? To go in a building, okay, I have 500 yards to work with, right? You could laser this, right? It's a rangefinder. Also, again, with the binos, if I'm hunting, because I'm going to stay out, right? I have this here. I would have a weapon right with me. So I could range, you know, I see a deer, I know the range, right? Dial that in. That's why I keep that in there. I always have binos in the car because there's sometimes where, you know, listen, the road is backed up. What happened? You know, you can always see it. It's just something good to have. So I keep binos in there. Remember, this bag is my bug out bag where I'm leaving. We need something happen. We need to get somewhere for a purpose. So I want to have these kinds of things. This video might be a little long just because we're going through it. But hey, bear with me. These videos, you know, once we're going through all the stuff, you know, just take a little bit. So moving in next, I have a little fold-up pouch. This is, I keep it as a wallet because this is where I keep like my identification, right? So with my family, I bring my passports in here. I have cash in here. Just a little Amazon pouch. Like Alpaca makes some. This is Dakate. You know, it's Molly system in the back, but it has some elastic bands in there. You know, I have pens in there. I have a Write in the Rain notebook. I took some things out of there. You know, I keep cash in here, right? I need, just in case you need cash for whatever reason. Card might not be working right, but I keep my IDs in here, personal stuff. It's just a little wallet that I want to keep in here, and I have cash just in case I need cash, right? Things might be down, and the only way you're going to get supplies is if you have cash. You know, the register's not working, etc. Hey, cash only. You know, a lot of people don't have cash on the, you know, on times like this, and this is when you need it. So I keep cash in there. Just a small little pouch, but a nice one. What else? Next, I have, you know, just gonna go as I grab, right? I have things labeled, but not fully. That's another thing I want to do, is label these pouches. So anybody that goes in my bag, my family goes in, okay, grab in. Like if it's fire, it's gonna be stuff to make a fire. You know, if it's water stuff, I have water purification stuff in here. Medical, obviously, I do have that tagged up. So in here, I keep a med kit. right? Fastly deployed with just Molly with Velcro. That I'll show you guys how I have that in here. This is a My Medic pack. I've had this pack for a bit. They're really good packs. Yes, they're pricey, but you get really a lot of medical with it. So this pack has changed because I've had this for many years, so I've taken things out of it, added things. I've, taken things out of it, right? But this is something that I'm gonna be out with my family, so if I keep, I'll just open it up for you guys. I'm not gonna go through everything because, you know what your medical should have. If not, just look up. But here, I have tourniquets in here. I have stop the bleed stuff, right? Just in case a trauma, you have to deal with a gunshot wound, a lot of ace bandages for sprains, a few ice packs. In this little guy, I have a lot of medication, anti-diarrhea, headache, Benadryl, things that you might need. Remember, I'm with my family, etc. I have some steroids in there, prednisone. I have antibiotics in there if we need them, things like that. So, my wife is good with medical. She's in the medical field, so she always keeps me, stocked with things that we need. Decompression needle in there. And then I have a lot of bandages, burn gel. So things that would cover my whole family, God forbid something happened. Or if I needed to render aid to somebody, I have this in here. Okay. All right, so big, big medical kit. Like I said, I like to carry a lot of tourniquets because, tourniquet is something that absolutely comes in handy, guys. So just know that. What other pouch do we have? Velcro into another pouch is I have a fixed knife here, right? Just a nice sharp fixed knife. These are the ones that you see them on Amazon. I saw a review on them, the CV or CVV. They're really good knives, man, at a really good price. This is kind of their Skinner blade. It has a ring, right, so you could hold it. I got it because it's super sharp, and I dressed a deer with it, and it's a nice, thin, sharp blade to really, to skin and to butcher. It worked out really good. So I have that knife in there. I just have kind of Velcro on it because I just Velcro it on to this particular pouch I had in here. I haven't labeled this pouch, so it's gonna be, I don't fully remember. Okay, so in here I have fire starting stuff in this little pouch. So I would put, just gonna get those, you can buy them on Amazon, the pouches that kind of patches that say what you want. So I would put like fire here, right? So this has fire starting stuff. So like I said, if I'm caught out there, I have a lighter, I have windproof matches, I have like electrical lighters, a butane lighter, a little start brisket, little bricks to start a fire, right? And I keep a little tin in there that I made, tinder with petroleum jelly. There's tons of videos on YouTube on how to make fire starting stuff. So this is if I need to start fire. We are going to be caught in the elements, or not. Maybe we found shelter, but power's out and we need to cook, right? So the other thing that I just would have in here, and it fits, but I just took it out because I was camping, is a small fold-up stove, right? So, I was like stove. I would put that in here and just carry a little, propane, like those Colemans. That's the only thing I took out of here because I went camping up. There's probably some other things once I go through here. But that's what I would keep with fire. You can start, you can cook if you have to. I would keep some MREs here. I used the Peak Fuel ones. It's another thing I took out of here because I was camping. So usually I keep 3, rolling with 3, right? From my wife and my daughter. Even though if I, you were going to get a family member, you might have more. But those meals are filling. They have enough. So I usually keep 3 of those in there. Plus I have some snacks, usually jerky, those tactical gummies you saw from Aim Size, which are really good. So fire stuff in this pouch. Again, these pouches that I'm getting, because people like to ask me, oh, where'd you get that pouch? Amazon, guys. This was like $9. It has Velcro on it. Happens to be multicam, but it's a nice little thin pouch, and you can build them up, right? So add different things in them. I love Amazon for those pouches. I don't believe in spending, even though some of those pouches are really nice, like the GP pouches from different company. I use them on my training stuff, my war belt and all that stuff. But for things like this, man, Amazon, it's plenty good. So next I have another, bag in here that I would keep if I could get to, because this stuff is mounted to the floor, that way it doesn't move. but I'll pull it out real quick so you guys can see. And this was another Amazon kind of. Ooh, I'm having trouble pulling that out. This Molly's tight. All right, bear with me, guys, as I pull that out. All right, and I Molly it so it just holds in the pack and it's not flying everywhere. Because again, this is a pack that I would keep this way. So you're gonna see a few of these because I really like these. Another Amazon Molly pouch, long, has Velcro on it. So like I said, I could build up these pouches, stick them on, right? If I need to grab it. And the reason I have a Molly is because I might just say, hey, grab me that pouch, take it out, leave everything in there. Everything's not spilled out, right? Everything has their location. In here, pretty sure this is my water purification. Nope, this is my lights. Oop, I must have just clicked that on when I hit that. 1 second, shut that off. So in here I have, cool. So in here I have all my lights. So I'm gonna have a lot of flashlights in here. I have an antenna attachment for communications because I'll bring my Biofang. Another thing that I would put in this pack is a radio because you're gonna see I also have a long range antenna. For communications, you may not be able, cell phones might go down, whatever the case. This is why I keep a lot of random stuff in this bag. I bring a radio with me. I don't know much about comms. I'm still learning about it, ham and all that stuff. But I just got a Biofang UV5R that I keep in here with attachments. I have a long range antenna because you may need it. And I have a few of those radios, right? I would give one to my wife, just and you know, with my daughter, just in case I got separated, I could communicate with them. Like I said, if I was getting a family member, etc. So I have that in there. Like I said, I have multiple lights. This is a stream light. What is this? The stylus. So it's just, listen, I keep multiple lights. This is a stream light, macro stream. These lights right here are pretty bright. They're pretty cheap. They're like 20, 30 bucks on Amazon. 300 lumens, I believe, you know, 350 lumens or 500 lumens. So they're bright lights. So I like to have extra lights on me. These are also the USB chargeable ones, which I like because a lot of my stuff that took batteries, I'm kind of, even though I have some stuff that takes batteries, I'm kind of getting away from just chargeable. So again, I would have, you know, lights in here. I have a older Surefire. Man, this is an old one, an E2L Outdoorsman. They don't make this. This is my first light that I got when I first started the job. Real young, I got this Surefire light. I know I changed the head on it. They brought out like an LED head. This might have like 200 lumens, and back then, 200 lumens was like a lightsaber, dude. So great light, really, really tough light. So I keep that on me. I usually take this camping because it's not, you know, super bright. So you need it, and it's tough as shit. So Surefire light, some stream lights. The reason I do stream light, you know, great light and not overly, you know, expensive. Surefire is nice too, but you know, they're up there, you know what I mean? So even though I do have some Surefires, I really stick to stream light. Later in my, you know, career as a cop, I did all stream lights, but again, you know, lights, there's tons of lights out there. Night Core, which you're gonna see. I also keep a headlamp in here. This is a Night Core headlamp that I got. Awesome headlamp. This is the UT27, right? So you have a little angle on it. So if you put it on your head, you can angle it down. It has like 800 lumens, I believe, on the bright. It has red light on it. It has not the super white beam, like more of a yellow beam. This is really bright. I mean, a headlamp's definitely necessary. One, you know, you could go hands-free with your light if you're working on something or you're getting through somewhere, walking through the woods at this point, or walking through, you know, somewhere where it doesn't have power. Keep it on your head. So always keep a headlamp on you. And this Night Core one is really good. It comes with 2 batteries. The kit was, again, so I keep that in there. So in here I keep communication stuff, lights, etc. The only thing I took out of it was the Biofang, so I keep the radio in there. And this pouch, again, Amazon pouch there. Shout out to these Amazon pouches. Before we do another long pouch grab, I'll tell you the reason I'm grabbing all these pouches is this bag, and I'll show you guys once I take the pouches out, is lined by a base of Molly. so you can molly in these pouches like I was saying. So in here, also on the side of this bag, which I'll show you guys, it has nylon elastic bands, so you can keep things in there. It's really for magazines, which you also have an area here, which I'll show you guys. So what I have in here is a Theorem like battery cell protector. I forget the model of this one. It's the bigger one, but if you open it in here, right, this is waterproof. They're really good. Theorem makes different sizes of these, and it has holders, so these keeps all my you know, CT 123s, whatever they are, CTRs. I always forget the batteries, but you know what I'm talking about, CR 123s. So I have a bunch of those, and then on the bottom I have some other you know, batteries like the 1623s for any red dots that I have. So I keep this. It's waterproof. Not all my stuff is USB chargeable. Like I said, I am moving to, but some of them take these batteries. So I keep that battery cell in there, waterproof, just in case you know, something happens. At least you have batteries for things on that side. And let me take this other pouch out. We're almost done with the pouches, which is good. All right. Like I said, well, this table's squeaky. Whoops! Dropped my cell out of the off the table, which is a tough. It's a tough canister too. So these are good. It has an opening for Molly. So if you open this back panel here, you could weave this through the Molly and just open it. You know, a lot of guys kept this a smaller version. We kept it on our vest with extra batteries. So another one of those pouches that you saw from Amazon. I think I got two for $16.99. No name brands, but they have Molly Velcro on the front. And here I have water purification stuff with me, and some liquid IV you know, pouches. So electrolytes, right? You need water. I have a life straw in here. Great little handy thing. Water purification tabs. I have a can kit, a can of provisions that I put in there. I took that out. I had taken that camping with me. But I have a Silky. If you don't know what this is a great handy tool. This is a tool that if you were to come up in urban environments, or you just see a spigot anywhere but it has no handle because usually there's off, this has every size for that spigot so you could get to water. So it's something that I always keep on me. A Silky. And this is just a little attachment if you have a hydration bladder, right? Which I do have in other packs. The reason I have this is if you have like water bottles, this is a quick connect to put in your water bottle, and it has the quick connect to you know, to attach into your hydration, like a Camelback kit, and you just squeeze the water into it and it refills it. Instead of having to open and dump and take it all apart, you just connect this into your feed tube. You know, put the plastic water bottle on this end, it screws in, and just squeeze. You know, you can squeeze water into it. So if you have multiple water bottles, you want to fill your hydration cap that way, you can. Like I said, I did can of provisions in here, and that's basically it. More tabs, right? Aqua tabs for purifying. So all water purification stuff in here, all right? Like I said, even 1 second, let me check that battery. Alright, sorry guys, threw in a fresh battery in there. Like I said, it's a long one. So like I was saying with the water purification kit, remember this is a bug out bag. I may not use this stuff because I may come right back. We might have just stayed in a hotel which had water, etc. But if things aren't working right, you can purify that water. Or if things get bad where you have to get on foot, elements, I have it in here. Right, so, you know, like I was saying, a bug out bag is a bug out bag. These are things that I feel I would need, especially having a family, right? Just having water, you know, keeping a water bottle, which I have in here, is not enough for 3. So if I need to get water from an outside source, I have. All right, moving. Next is this next pouch that I have over here, another Amazon special pouch that I got. I'll show you guys here in a second. Maybe I should have unmollied this stuff before the video. Didn't think about it. My bad. You know? Alright, so got it out. So another Amazon pouch, molly in the back. This one happens to be multicam. I think this is one Tigress or something like that. This one, butterfly, is completely open, which I like. And if you open in here, and then it has like elastic, so it kind of holds it in here. Has elastic bands on the side. This is all charging stuff. So all different charging cables, okay? A charging bank that's solar. So I got an Amazon, has a little compass on it. So again, I like to keep the solar because I also have a regular charging bank. This is the Poseidon Pro from Dark Energy. Really, really good charging. I've had this charger for years. One, it's rugged, it's waterproof. It does have a light in here that I turned on, so you can just turn that off. Right, it has a light in there, and it has your two ports. And this one happens to be camel, but they come in like black, green. It's 10,200 amps and or mAh, right? But super durable, man. I've taken this camping a lot of times. We dropped it, never in water, but they are waterproof. But I've dropped this thing like down rocks, because I had it out like trying to charge. And it's thin. It's almost like the size of a cell phone. So this is just this is on my tablet and my iPhone, no problem. So I keep that at 2 chargers. So I have one, if that was to die, I have the solar that if I'm walking, I just keep it on my pack, and it gets solar in there. I have a connector kit. So these are all different type of connections in there, like like Apple connection, Samsung, etc. Because everybody has something different, so you have these. And I just have a lot of different cords in here. I also have the USB lightning charger from the Dark Energy. It's wrapped in paracord, so just in case, it also doubles up. Like if you need paracord, you can unravel it. So, cool little thing there. So this pack is just charging stuff that I would need, because one, a lot of I have lighters that take charging, right? A lot of my lights are charging. I might need to charge your cell phone. You're out, right? This is the only way you're getting power right now. Power is out, but you might still be able to communicate. I keep all that in there. One little thing that I know is out of here right away, I'll tell you, is a compass. I always keep a compass in here too, even though I'd be wearing my Garmin GPS watch. But like I said, you never know what happens. This is kind of like a bug out bag, so I want to have a little bit of everything. In this, there's also a little side pouch here that I'm going to come out. And in here, I have bear spray. This is in a Everly stock pouch with Molly. You're gonna say, why do you have bear spray? I put this back in here. I do this take me camping. Also, I would keep a smoke grenade in here. Orange per se. You're gonna say, why orange? This is orange bear spray. So why do I have these in here? One, okay, you might be on foot, and I might need the bear spray because I might encounter a bear. Possibly. Why do I keep the smoke grenade in this combo in here? Smoke grenade's out because I was using it when we were doing training and I popped it off. I'm getting some new ones coming. The reason I keep this is because if we're on the road, with my family, something happens, there's civil unrest, right? That's why we had a bug out anyway, or something happened where it's going to cause, right, things to happen around you. We might be in a situation where, right, now we can't move, we're being barricaded, right? People are frantic. Listen, you need to get out of there. You pop that orange smoke, and people don't know what it is, okay? If people get even more aggressive, and this is where you have to do why I have the orange bear spray. If I was to pop that smoke and start spraying bear spray into the wind, people are gonna think it's chemical. I don't care. I'm getting me and my family out of there, right? This is a situation where, listen, in the past, you know, there's been, you know, people, you know, taken out of the side of the road, out of their cars from protesters or things. So it happens. They get, you know, they could get aggressive. So I'm not saying I'll just pop this off because I see a little crowd of people. I'm saying this is if you're getting held up on the road, right? People are getting aggressive. They're trying to come in, you know, your car because people don't know, you know, have no supplies. It's something that you need to clear a crowd and, you know, and get out of there, because once they see that deployed, the smoke, and what I don't have in here yet, which is next, is a gas mask, and obviously I would need 3 of them, so it gets pricey. Once they see me don a gas mask, they see that, they don't know what it is. They're going to think it's some kind of chemical agent. They're going to spread. I could get out of there, right? I know it's simple OC spray and, you know, orange smoke. They don't, right? So that's just, you know, a tip somebody told me on, you know, for clearing crowds. Smoke and a big bear spray, and if you have to, you know, use it, chemical, while you're, you know, having a gas mask. So 1, you don't get affected, right, because wind could be blowing it back, and 2, just so, you know, they see it real now. They have a gas mask, they think it's a chemical agent, they're running out of there. This is an extreme, like I said, event. Like if you need to get out of somewhere, you need to get your family through it, you know, it's gonna get aggressive. You see them irritating, that's where I would deploy this. Plus doubles up again if I'm in the woods. I don't need to pop the smoke on the bear, but I would have the bear spray if I needed to use it, or if you need to defend yourself, you have OC spray. Okay, so that's why I keep that in there. I'll put that over there. I need to replace that smoke grenade, and like I said, you don't have to go colors. It just happens to be, this is orange, right? It sprays orange all over, like, you know, what you see is orange, and it goes with the smoke. So kind of, they see the orange, now they're, you know, they're feeling the effects of OC spray. Kind of just goes with what they would think might be a chemical, you know, chemical grenade. All right, moving to the side. I'm gonna take everything out of the bag so then you guys could see, you know, what the benefit, you know, the features and benefits of inside the bag. So that's the main compartment, and it is pretty big and can get bigger. So in here, again, I had room. When I had it closed up, guys, I still had room if I wanted to keep, you know, if I needed to throw my tent in there, I could. If I needed to put a sleeping bag, I could have. But again, this is not something that I'm going to, this is not a bag I'm taking, right? I explained that. This is something I'm grabbing with me, and I'm going to be mobile, like in a vehicle. Like this is just a bug out bag, you know. Everybody in the family knows where it is. Anybody could grab it and go. Most likely I'm going to grab it because I would make the decision kind of what weapon system I'm adding in here. I already would have my carry on me, right? Because I'm always carrying concealed, so I'd have that. But if I want to bring a rifle with me, that's why I chose this duffel bag. And, you know, we'll go into that in a second. So here on the side pocket, it's just like a duffel side pocket. It has elastic bands for magazines. So in here I have some AR PMags, 10 rounders, because I'm in the great state of New Jersey. So I keep mags in here because you know, having a rifle system is going to be 5.56. I'll talk about that in a second. Then it has a zip up pocket that opens up in that pocket, within that pocket. In here I have a bundle of 550 power cord. Good amount, I'd say probably, you know, 50 to 100 feet. I like to keep this on. You never, power cords used for tons and tons of stuff. So I keep a bundle of that. I love keeping a fold-up saw in here, right? This is just a snap-on saw because I get them, but a good fold-up saw. You might need to cut. You're going to be out. Now I might need wood. Again, not for a super extensive long period of time, but if I need wood, I could cut it real quick, or you just need to saw something, I have it. A small little fold-up shovel, good to have anyway. Again, you might need to, you know, shovel out something, or to maybe you get the car is stuck. You might need to, you know, shovel something, you know, out. It's put mud or, you know, sand, whatever. You know, I like having a shovel in there. What else is in here? This is just a little fold-up kit. It has a string saw on it with power cord. So just a redundancy of having a somewhere to cut, cut wood, get wood, just in case you need to have a fire. Fire is super important, especially at night. It gets cold with your family, so I just keep stuff that I could, handle fire. And this is a pry bar. Has different angles on the head, so you can change the pry bar. Why a pry bar? Again, this is a bug out bag. I'm getting it because I need to get somewhere. Maybe I need to pry something open to get to where I'm going, or to get out of what I went to get, whatever the case might be. I like having a pry bar on me, right? And this one's cool. It's a gear wrench, made by Gear Wrench. It has different angles, so you can keep it straight. You want to have it hooked, you can keep it at a 90. So adjustable pry bar, gear wrench, like to keep that in there. And that's it. It's a good size. That didn't even take half of the size of the pocket, which I'll show you guys in a second. That's all I got over there. There's magazine's knife, right? We have the antenna. Moving to the side over here, you have a small zip up pocket. You can keep your wallet in there, etc. I just happen to have another light where I could keep it quick. This is a Streamlight ProTac, really bright light. So I have this, just like I said, in where I don't have to go in the bag, where I need, might need it. And I have a little fold up knife from CRKT, like a carabiner style knife. Just something to grab, but you can put your wallet in there. You can put your cell phone in there if you need it. It's just a little, a small little, pouch. And then moving forward, when you open this up here, it's not much of a pouch. It gives you a mesh lined pocket. So in here you could keep like a layer, like I did if you want. I keep a Nalgene water bottle in here with, I have the Can of Provision kits. So this is the Can of Provision. They make like a sticker which tells you how to purify water, what the ratio is. So it tells you, and this is 32 ounces of water. So I would keep this fill, and I have, a water bottle with me. All right, so that's water bottle there. Now, the reason I was showing you this, when this right side compartment opens, you could push the bag out and make it longer. Okay, so that's where if you need to fit a weapon system, you can. Like I said, I'll show you guys inside the bag so you can just see what I'm saying. Inside here, it has a moly, like a hard moly floor plate. That's where I was molying in those pouches. All right, it has over here on the side of it. On this one side, it has nylon bands. The one thing I didn't take out that I just saw I had in here is I have some those life tent pouches. So it has an emergency blanket and a pouch, like I said, just in case I'm caught out there. I have those in there. But you can fit a lot of magazines here, right? That's the way they made it, with elastic. You have the big duffel bag, and now if you need it to be bigger, you open that up, okay? And you have that much of more storage inside. Remember, you also have the two pockets on here. And the real cool part about this duffel is, because I've been showing you a duffel, and you're like, well, if you have to carry, they're gonna be hands. No, I picked this bag for a reason. When you turn the bag over on this side, right, has a zipper here. We got shoulder straps, dog. All right, you pull out these shoulder straps. It has some hidden buckles down here, right? Take that buckle out. Take the buckle out, clip it in. Another has like these little side slits with buckles in them. All right, pull that out, pull the buckle out, make the strap. Okay, that now becomes a backpack. All right, so now that's how I would be carrying, right? I mean, it's open, right? Well, I'll close it up for you guys. It has those hidden. That's what I really liked about this versatility of this duffel bag. Okay, so now you have your compartment down here, right? Yeah, this could stay open. You could keep, cinch it down. So I just have the water bottle in there. It also has some tie-down straps in here. So if you wanted to keep another layer in there, a bedroll, you know, a tent in there. You know, if it's long enough and it fits in there, you could, you know, zip it up on the side. So it has good versatility. Now about opening the pack, like I said, if your state allows a SBR, you know, a pistol, you know, you're good. In New Jersey, you can't. This is the size of the other, right? This is my other, okay? Modern Material makes them here. A Troy, those were the one. This is a Troy. I've changed the upper, but this is a Troy. This is 27 inches. So does it fit in the pack completely? Yes, if I put it in, you know, and a little bit of the angle, the barrel gets to right here. I would just break it down in half, right? If you're in a state where you could have that law folder, if this was to just, the tactical law folder, if this was to fold open, perfect. That's why I also like this bag, because I could keep a rifle with me, right? And like I said, this is a bag out bag where I would need to have this type of weapon system on me, not only to get me and my family out of danger. Again, if I'm going to be out in the elements, I'm able to hunt with this if I need to, even though I have a pistol on me, right? And I have the ability to carry extra magazines because of all those elastic bands in here, which is cool. I also have the ability to carry a rifle, which I believe is important, right? It gives you a, you know, an advantage of firing from distance, all that. And again, this is something where you're bugging out. This is something that I don't keep in there full time because, like I said, I don't know. It might be okay with just, you know, my secondary pistol carrying concealed, just grabbing this bag and grabbing. This is where I make that decision whether I would need to put this in here. You know, I'll make a separate video on this. I'm not going to go through everything. It's just another, has an MRO on there, etc. But if you're in a state where you can have a shorty, you're golden. You know, just pop that in there. Again, you know, you pop it in there, close everything up, and the cool thing is your duffel now becomes a nice size backpack once it's opened up. And now you can really carry this, because carrying a duffel bag, you know, in your hands, you're taking up one hand, right? So if I needed to have the rifle, you know, system on me, I still have my bag on me. I can still maneuver, still have my hands, right? And it doesn't look super tactical or anything. It just looks like it's a, you know, a book bag, you know, a duffel book bag, you know, which is pretty cool. So that's cool from, you know, Viktos. I like their bags because they always have, you know, good features, and they're not, you know, overly priced. I mean, 129 bucks I think is a great deal for this. You know, it's made out of good nylon material, very, you know, very good stitching. I've had a few of their book bags for, you know, probably 2 years, travel a lot with them, never had a zipper break, anything like that. So it does have a, you know, a grab handle here. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to do the video on, you know, this is what I set up as my bug out bag. As like I said in the beginning of the video, that's why I feel like there's multiple bags, right? I keep a vehicle get home bag, right, for that scenario. This is a bug out bag where, you know, we're just leaving, but it's temporary. And then there's a whole nother subject of you have to get out. And like I said, you know, if you're living in an urban area, a city, I understand that more, because you know, you may have to get out, especially if you're in an apartment building, it's small, etc. For, like I said, me, that I don't live in an urban area, I'm very rural. Right? People are like, rural New Jersey, yes, we have farms, we have woods, right? So I have woods. I wouldn't leave here. I have acres behind me where I hunt, right? That's where I would get my food source. I have property. We're in a private community, one way in, one way out. So, and we're on the highest point, so we could see that from vantage. I did that all for a reason. Call me neurotic or whatever, is what it is. That's how I think. And you know, my family loves the house. So for me to leave here would be something where I had to leave, and that's a much bigger bag than this, because I'm packing for 3, and let me not even get into it that we have pets, right? That's a whole nother scenario. So yeah, so that's why I wanted to do this video and show you guys this cool duffel bag. Also, if you just need a range bag, because listen, if it's a carbine, fits a lot of ammo. You can fit all your boxes. Before this, I was using it as a range bag, right? So I would put all my ammo boxes in there, a lot of my pistols, you know, every ears and eyes that I needed. Great bag. I just found the benefits with the backpack style, the versatility of it. You know, I could keep all my pouches mollied in. I thought it was perfect for what I needed, and that's what I was saying in the beginning of the video. You know, the bag is going to be very personal to your situation, your family unit, how many people, what you need out of it. So, you know, curtail it to you. Guys, I appreciate all the likes, subscribers, all the comments, all the support. Continue to do that. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 2,000 followers or subscribers. I didn't think I would get to 1,000, and I got it, so I appreciate you guys. Mega time. And yeah, guys, let me know in the video what else I should have in here. Let's all communicate. It's good to get a good community going and share information so we could better ourselves and be more prepared. All right, so that's all I got. That's today's video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Dial in, stay safe.